So that flow for you can be done in a day.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do right away. So
What's going on, guys? So just yesterday, I closed a $20,000 AI automation sale for a real estate company, and I'm going to break down today the entire sales call because I recorded it, and there's a lot of value that goes into how I actually priced my offers, how I found the pain points, and how I actually closed the deal. So that's what we're going to be breaking down today. And we're also going to be touching on the AI solutions that I actually sold this client on and how you guys can do the exact same thing in my No Code Academy or just by watching me here on YouTube. So if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, now let's dive into this video. So first and foremost, guys, I got to give you some background context because we need to explain how the lead was generated, the prospect's business model, and the prospect's pain points that I identified. So the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is how the lead was generated. Because some of you know that I'm not actually running an AI automation agency anymore because I'm building software companies. So the way that I actually generated this lead was through one of my buddies in my hometown. And we went out for some drinks and I was able to connect with one of their family friends. And this guy just so happens to run multiple companies, and I wanted his advice about raising capital for my software companies. Long story short, he finds out that I do AI automation. He wanted help with his real estate company. And so his real estate company, moving on to the prospect's business model, is he has multiple luxury rental properties in the city of London, Ontario, and he wants to rent, and he's renting them out to Western University students. And the reason why his business model is very lucrative is because the location of those properties are in the most prime spots in the city for students to rent out. And so he needs our help to actually, streamline his process because he's now entering retirement. And so in the prospect's pain points, there's a whole lot of stuff from inbound agent calling, appointment confirmations, receiving invoice payments, marketing, getting email addresses, and actually systemizing the way that they're going to start selling their rental units for the future. Because previously their business was so strong that they didn't have to do anything and people would just call and rent out apartments or their houses. But now it's changed, right? Because there's a little bit more competition and some people don't necessarily want to pay those high prices. So today's breakdown, guys, is we're going to hop right into the sales call video. And my goal is to just explain to you my thought process on not only how I'm able to build rapport with the clients, but also how the moment that I identify a pain point, I immediately offer the solution and then I show them how that's going to be implemented. So let's dive into the sales call, guys. As I'm halfway through this video tutorial, but actually I want to let you know if you're starting the video tutorial right now, put it at 2 times speed. Okay, you're gonna learn just twice as fast, and yeah, no need to waste your time.
profile of who it is to try and see who you're dealing with, right?
Yeah, and sorry, you would in your business, right? You would want to automate that process to a degree, or?
Yeah, no, that's what I want you to do right away.
Okay, yeah.
Just ask them.
Okay, so the first thing that he's asking me to do right away is basically receiving the lead information because he currently has one employee that's working full time to sell all of these rental apartments and rental houses. And so this person had to always pick up the phone when people are interested in checking out different listings, but that took up too much of her time. And so the first thing he wanted to systemize was an inbound calling agent. Let's move forward.
Simple questions. What size is your group? How do you know each other? What's your budget? What's your price range? What area do you want? Just some simple questions, right?
Yep. I think I can actually show you this in person because it'll help your learning curve. But I think that with the questions that you said, for example, right? Like how many rooms do you want? What's your budget, location, stuff like that. We can build that out in a flow of questions. And so it could be, it could be very conversational. So the company that we're using for this specific use case is called bland.ai, and they have, so within their system, you can also buy phone numbers. And so let's say you have multiple locations in your business.
All right, so let's stop it right there. And so the thing that I first talked about is the path, right? So if you guys actually looked at my previous video where I made this agent tutorial with you guys, it explains how we can run the client through a path of questions to actually qualify them to see if they actually can afford whatever the thing we're offering is. And so this is what I'm trying to explain to my client. And we're using a website called Bland AI to do it because in my opinion, Bland AI is the best phone calling agent.
So let's say you're based in, and even let's say you're based in like London and then maybe Kitchener and then maybe like Windsor, those area codes would just be slightly different. So like even that personal touch of like using a phone number that is in their area code is really nice.
Yeah.
And so they have that, and that's what I really like. And they also have an auto detect to change the language, because sometimes there's a barrier of language. And so if the person, let's say, is a Spanish speaker, there's an auto detection that can actually switch the AI to speak in Spanish, which is pretty absurd. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't try it. But
all my clients speak English, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, mine are all students, right? That go to Western.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I'm really just building rapport, and I'm just finding out about his business. And so I'm just telling him all the different features that are possible and seeing what he likes and what he doesn't like. Whatever he likes is the stuff that I will then continue to talk about.
And I'm not looking for people that speak Chinese or, East Indian or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't rent my houses.
I feel
Not that I wouldn't rent to them. That's just they don't want to be there. They don't want to pay because my houses are like top of the price range.
Okay.
And they're renovated, so that they're like real. They're like a high-end student housing, right?
Yeah. So I actually want to know a little bit more about this. The person you hired. What is she?
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to get to. So anyway, I hired her on basically
Okay, guys, so now you can see how I've already identified the first pain point, because he told me that he wants to do that inbound agent with all the answers, questions, how many bedrooms, blah, 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 blah. So now that I know he wants that, there's no need for me to continue harping on that, because we need to still identify more pain points. And that's why I bring up the employee that he hired, because my next thing that I would charge this client for is the training fee to actually train this employee to use the automations. Because like I said, I'm building software companies, I'm building the No Code Academy, so I don't actually have time to help this guy long term. But I do have time to help them short term and train their employees. And so that's why I wanted to hear about what this employee is doing for them currently.
30-day contract, right? Because I knew the students would be gone, and I wanted to test her out and see how she did. And I met her at the golf course. The last day at the golf course, she was serving me. I was having dinner there, and I said, so, what are you going to do now? She goes, well, I don't know. I said, I asked her a bunch of questions, and she lives on St. George at Oxford, and my houses are all at St. George and Mill. Like, it's a block away, right?
Yeah, next door.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is perfect. She can show them anytime, and she's, just graduated from Western. She's 24, actually. She did an extra year in high school, extra year in university. So, and she's worked a lot of different jobs. So she's very well-rounded, and she's very polite and very courteous, and she's awesome. Monica says she's amazing. She doesn't say that about anybody. And she's smart. So what I was thinking is, she's organized. So, and she's very motivated, and she likes to learn, and she's eager. You know what I mean?
Those are the best type of people.
She doesn't have an attitude.
Yeah.
I have a hard time working with,
So even that little comment there where I say those are the best type of people, I'm trying to associate their good feeling to their employee to me as well. I want them to think that I'm the same type of person that they can, envision themselves enjoying their time working with.
A lot of people, but, because they just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you kind of are doing kind of like independent contracting, or there's no real office. I'm not looking, So that's why our major problem is getting back to people and setting up appointments. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
So that's a new pain point, right? So it's now getting back to the clients that we have the leads of, right? So now we have another thing I can offer them, which is the outbound agent. So we just spoke about the inbound agent, and we spoke about something. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call on my phone right now, but I'm not going to pick that up. So anyways, that's basically what that is, okay? So let's keep moving forward. I've now identified they need an outbound agent.
And
so if that could be done, that would free her up to do other things.
Yeah, exactly.
For me. So, because that's a lot of her time, and she's billing me for it. I'd rather just have her show up to the showings or call the people and confirm.
Yeah.
What's this information? Then she calls them and say, oh, hey, it's Ellie calling from Absolute Rentals, and I see you booked an appointment for tomorrow at 1. I just want to go over a few things and blah, 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 and have a little conversation. Oh, you went there, and what do you get this and that? Oh, you played on the volleyball team, and, get that, like you say, that consumer experience where it's everything's answered right away. and now you've got to call, and within 15 minutes, this person Ellie's calling you, or within the hour, or whatever. How we set it up.
Yeah. So
or even a button on there to call her. That
I do also apologize. He is a yapper. He's a good guy though, so it just is what it is.
would be the best. Press this button to talk to Ellie. Blah blah blah. After you've filled in all the fields, you know what I mean. So we've got all their information. Now you want to talk? Press this button.
Yep, exactly. So one of the cool things about Bland as well is they have a directory, and so the agent can actually redirect the phone call to whoever in the company you would want to redirect that to. And another cool thing is there's also an outbound feature. So we were just talking about inbound, but we can also do outbound. And so if, let's say, they book the appointment, and then the appointment's in a week, we can then set an automation that then calls them again and says, hey, you have a booking with Ellie or whatever, and she's gonna come meet you guys and give you.
Yeah, we need that, because I tell her every appointment you have to confirm.
Okay, so boom, he just said that he needs that, right? And then later on he'll go explain that sometimes if you don't call and you confirm the appointment, they just don't show, and now all the employees at this company are wasting their time. And so we have now identified 3 pain points. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's tedious. It's a tedious process. It's like she can do much more than that, but
I'd rather her do other things for me to make me money. This doesn't really, it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, right?
Yeah, you're on the same wavelength then, because that's exactly true. You want to just have this lady, if she's motivated, then we can literally get her to do all the high leverage stuff and just turn her into a beast.
Yeah, exactly. And she's ready to go. She's had the training, and hey, Monica, this is Kevin on the phone. Say hi, Monica.
What's up, Monica?
So what was I just gonna say? I lost my.
Yeah, skilling up. Is her name Ellie?
Ellie, yeah, her name's Ellie. Yeah, so we want to. We have a more important task that we could get her to do than that. And then the other thing is the rentals. If it's done properly, you should basically be able to do them all in end of September, October, and you'd be done by December 1st. Now this year, we still got 5 or 6 places, and I'm worried. And if I don't get them rented in the first 2 weeks of January, I'm screwed.
Okay.
And I've had some houses vacant a whole year because I tried to rent them out for September 1st, and I didn't even rent them then. So I have a couple places that have...
Okay, so there's already some more pain points there, but that's short term. So something that I have to now notify the client about is that what we're building for him is long-term infrastructure. So he's identifying that he needs help short term, which is a good sign for us, but it's also we need to make sure he understands that what we're building for him is to systemize this process so that the issue he's having this year will never happen in the future. And so that's where I now have to basically structure my wording to make him understand that.
Been vacant a whole year.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of the places are $7,000 a month. So I lost a lot of money last year because, we didn't reply and set up appointments and get on top of it. We need a system, and then we need to somehow get that on the social media too, through Instagram or Facebook, or get a feed on there of.
So if you guys have been watching my channel, I think you guys have now identified a pain point, and you can identify what we would offer in this situation. So now he's talking about marketing and social media, right? And so one of the automations that's available in the community is the auto upload feature. And so let's say I start teaching this Ellie girl how to make marketing content for the house tours. She can now, with one upload on all social media platforms at once. And so that's going to save them a lot of time as well. And that's what I offer again. So now we're at 4 or 5 pain points or something like that.
Stuff. So we're getting people that want to see us, at the university. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%. I think, marketing at my core is my bread and butter. It's what I love the most because it's the most instant gratification, and in terms of converting sales and figuring out how to offer your product to the market. I obsess with that. And I think it's cool with real estate as well because in a local scene, the marketing efforts doesn't have to be that extreme. It just has to be systemized. And then once so there's another automation I can show you that basically, if you post a video, it'll then be uploaded on all social media platforms at once, which is another time saver. because like, to manually have to go in and upload on YouTube and then Instagram and then LinkedIn and then Twitter, it's an absolute nightmare. So that could be streamlined, like really quick, like by the end of today that could happen.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would just want to know more about like how, you would want I guess the best form or funnel that you're using to convert people into clients, and then we can kind of reverse engineer from there.
We only use off-campus housing because we find that that's where the students, focus their looking.
Okay.
So that's all.
Okay, so this is where it gets really exciting for me, because they're using a third-party website to book their rentals, meaning they're not actually getting any traffic to their website. They're not making any traffic from marketing. Nothing. They're getting traffic from Western University themselves. Okay, so that is the biggest opportunity, and he kind of just glossed over this. So let's see what happens next year.
Been using. Some people put it on Kijiji, and some people put it on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, you can get the odd lead through there for sure. We just, don't have time and don't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's what we're using, and then
is this offcampus.uwo?
Yeah, UWO off-campus housing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the only place the students go to. Or
that
they
is
go to
very
the landlords or their friends that have lived there before, or referrals. Because sometimes if their older brother or sister,
so
they know.
Simsy, sorry to interrupt. Did you say that your rentals, they're like really, they're luxury?
Well,
for students.
I mean, luxury for students. Like I put in hard surface countertops. I put in big islands.
I see. Yeah.
Big super islands in there, like 8 feet, and you can eat all around them. They're for student places. Yeah, like I've got some, and I have the best one I'm doing. I'm trying to do it for the Lawson and Ashton and the tennis team.
Okay, so the people that he just brought up are the people that actually connected me to this prospect, and so he starts to sell me on a rental property. So if you want, you can skip a couple minutes ahead.
I'm doing a tennis team house.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't. I mean, it's up to those guys, but it doesn't only have to be tennis team guys. So, you might be interested in living there yourself.
Yeah, I would be interested. Especially if I stay in London long term, then yeah.
Well, when you say long term, when would you are you in school right now?
Oh no. Just growing these businesses now.
Nice.
But I don't know. I want to see where's the best environment for this business to grow. Potentially London, like especially in the summer. London's beautiful because it's just like I can imagine myself literally just golfing and working all summer, and that would be great. But like in the winter,
that's what I do.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. And then in the winter, it's like potentially down in Florida or like Texas or something like that. I'm thinking. So if you have like a 6 months, then yeah, 1,000%.
Well, you don't really, yeah, exactly. But you'd have to commit to a year lease, like May 1st. But you could sublet out your room if you didn't want to live there too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm trying to put together this deal, but 2 of the guys in the house are brothers. They're from Qatar. I don't know if you know those guys.
Nope. Tennis guys?
Yeah. Twin brothers.
See, this part of the call is like, honestly, it's really important, but it's boring because like I have to just build rapport. I have to become friends with this guy. Even though like I am already quite friendly with him due to my internal connection, I'm still just not rushing the call. Okay, so that's another thing. Like, keep in mind, like I said earlier in this video, this call started with my intentions of asking him about raising capital for my own companies. And he's now trying to get me to help him with his own companies, right? And since he's an internal connection and he can get me connected to venture capitalists, I'm very interested in helping him as well. And so this is a very dynamic and interesting conversation. This is why I'm excited to specifically on this sales call break it down, because it's like, there's so many steps into how this close happened, and I want you guys to understand that you're going to generate leads in so many different ways, And you just need to kind of have this pivoting mindset, this creative mindset that allows you to, structure deals out of thin air. And as you guys are seeing here in this phone call, like every single time I offer something, the client absolutely loves what I have to say. And that's just due to the reps of understanding what the pain points traditionally are. And so getting the reps in is absolutely crucial.
Nope. Nope. But
Anyway, they have a lease at Lux.
okay.
So September 1st. We're already put together the deal, but they say their parents said that they don't want to pay double rent because the lease starts May 1st on the one on John Street. So
I have a
Asher and I
suggestion.
were talking about subletting out their rooms. They have 2 rooms.
Okay.
So we can put together this deal on John Street.
Okay.
And I told the guys if they rent the house on John Street, I'll sponsor the tennis team, right?
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. So I told them I'd sponsor the tennis team so they have money because they don't have any money coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. Ashton was telling me about that.
Yeah. So I was gonna between $500 and $1,000 a month. I was gonna give them if they rent the house. And it's gonna be 6 bedrooms, a bathroom in every bedroom, and a 2-piece, and it's gonna be my best house, and it's right across from Delilah's.
Do you have a website that's like a portfolio of these rental properties?
Yeah, there's I think it's I don't even really deal with the website. My sister does.
Oh, there she is. There it is.
She did it with my dad's my partner, and he's in Ottawa, and my sister is a software developer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she went to Western, and then she got a job here, and she got transferred to LA, and she's been in LA for how long has Sarah been there? 20 years now, eh? Yeah. 20 years.
So, I mean, that's like pain point number 6, right? So it's a family business, and the sister ended up running her own AI company and moved to Los Angeles, right? And so that's going to be my connection for raising venture capital, but also it means that there's a wide open software developer role for this company because she hasn't been back in London in 20 years because she's building her own company. So that's another pain point, which is the website is outdated. The website is not the greatest, it doesn't look that good, but it also just hasn't been getting any clicks. So no one's even visiting that website. And so there's a whole new list of things I can now offer, such as Google Ads, such as, adding SEO blogs to the website. So you start ranking higher, stuff like that. So let's keep going.
Holy.
She worked for some really, really great companies, doing legal software, hosting and data storage and data management and security and all that stuff for, I forget the London company. But then she got a job at one in Beverly Hills, and they sold out for like 30-40 million. Then she went to LexisNexis, which is the largest software company in the world. She was there for, 7, 8, 10 years. And then now she has her own AI company.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was up for an award. There's 3 people up for this award in the States because she lives in LA and Chicago, and she thought she was going to, she was, there's 3 people, that were going for the award, so she almost got the award for AI.
What's her, oops, this guy hang up.
This guy just hung up the phone. He does that one more time in the call. I don't know.
Sorry, I think we cut off.
Yeah, no problem.
What's her,
I'm not really sure exactly what she does, but I could get her to text me her info or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Okay.
I lost my phone. I had it in my phone, but I lost my phone about 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't backed up, so I got to get her to retext it. And we really don't talk too much about her business because we weren't talking for about 5 years, and then we just started talking again a couple of years ago.
Okay. Okay, because I'd be very interested to see, because like this whole like raising capital or like I have no idea. Like I'm new to that, and I don't know.
Well, I know that's what I don't have to do.
You don't or do?
Do.
Okay,
Do.
well, fuck
Do.
yeah, talking my language. So like, another reason why like I prioritize this type of like connection versus like a random VC firm is that like a random VC firm like in the States, they hit me up like like a couple days ago, and I just don't want that relationship with someone that like I don't personally know. I just don't feel safe like with that.
Yeah. You know, especially when they're out of the country too.
Yeah.
You can't even sue them. It's hard to sue them. And
Oh yeah, like I bet there's so much even headaches that I don't even know about that are associated to that.
exactly.
Um,
So this is what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest, like, if you can help set my system up, right?
Yep.
That would be good. And then you're going to probably have to talk to my sister about the website because it needs to be revamped, right?
Yes. Yeah. So just looking at the website, there's
So you're that way you're going to be able to, talk to her and she can.
yeah, absolutely. This guy keep hanging up. Hey, I don't know why that keeps
Are you in a
happening.
high rise?
No. Is it like staticky or something? Did something happen?
No, I just wonder why it got cut off. You might have hit it with your cheek or something. Though.
No, it's on speaker. I don't know. But whatever.
Weird.
Um,
So anyway, and the other thing is, like, are you able to focus on this right away and get this going, or?
well, like it depends. Like I have a developer on my team, so like
Okay, so now we've entered the pricing and how I'm actually going to structure this. And I actually want to explain my logic before the call continues here, because we've now identified 6 or 7 pain points, right? But that's overwhelming to, put into one sale and being like, okay, you're going to pay me, $30,000 up front for me to deliver things that you've never seen. So what I did instead was I identified the biggest pain point and I told them for a couple $1,000s, I will build that one automation, just one. Because once he sees that one, then he'll see that I need to build all these other automations and I need to train the employee. And so that is my thought process, because the time of delivery is one of the biggest indicators of a client really sticking with you, right? So if you say you want something like Amazon, I will be able to deliver it to you because I'm Amazon. But if you ordered something from like an e-commerce drop shipper, you're gonna now wait a month and a half. But if it's the exact same product, which one would you rather get? You're obviously gonna order from Amazon. And so this is the exact same thing, but I need to just show him that first deliverable, which can happen immediately. So let's keep going.
we definitely can.
And like, how long would it take to do this simple questions to answer to an email?
So yeah, we would just have to break down what the flow would be. So like, what would the ideal flow that you want? Like, if you want like an inbound agent and an outbound agent, and then if you also want,
I just want to start with, like when people are sending an email that it auto replies.
okay.
So he just said another automation, right? And you guys have that as well. You have the auto reply, you have the auto write email. We call it the scrape and script automation. And another thing about automations, guys, and the reason why I give the templates that I do is that you need to learn how the automation works so that when you sell it, you just have to tweak a couple of the variables. I'm using the same automations in this sale that you guys have access to, but I'm just tweaking it for the client, okay?
And that email.
That's one way. Or if you think the chat thing's better, you think they'd like that better?
The call?
The call.
Yes. Yeah, it feels ridiculous the first time it worked. Like it feels really ridiculous because so what can happen is like if they give the AI agent the email as well, in the funnel it'll actually then send them the confirmation email from the phone call. So
yeah, that's right.
That's
right. So you don't want to do email, you want to do the phone call.
Yeah,
right.
Phone call to email confirmation, and then one more outbound call to confirm the appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that flow for you can be done in a day.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do right away.
So it is the next day and it's completely built. So actually right after this breakdown, I'm actually going to go show him at his house this exact thing and it's completely built. And so if you guys want that breakdown of how I grabbed that AI agent tutorial that you guys have access to and how I tweaked it to offer it to him, then just drop a comment and I'll consider making a breakdown of that as well.
And then what would you charge me for that, or how do you want to work it?
Well,
that's what I want you to think about.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest, if you want me to work hard, I will ask for like a couple thousand and get this thing done. And then what's cool about it is, what's really cool about AI, in my opinion, and like the aha moment is that once the model is built, so let's say we build this thing out, right? We're gonna have the inbound, we're gonna have the outbound, and the thing is going to evolve. So like through the reps, we're just going to train the agents to actually have a better response for the clients as we go. And so
what I'm leading him on there is basically the monthly retainer. And so the couple $1,000s that I spoke about is just the installation fee. And so that installation fee will take me a couple hours, right? But the next step of that, like I said, is not only training the employees, it's also updating the models as they go. Because let's say a couple weeks goes by and an error happens in the automation, that's my job to go in there and fix it, right? But I will only do that if he continues to pay me on a monthly recurring basis, right? So that's what I'm teasing now.
Especially with the way that the models like are evolving, it'll just have a better context understanding, and they have this thing called Flash now, so like they're going to respond faster. But all this to say that once the thing is built, then it's just iterating on top of it. So it's really just, there isn't really much cost other than installing and building.
Yeah, exactly. So if you could do me a favor, if you could text me like what you're gonna do, just so I can talk to Monica about it. Like, what are you gonna do for the 2,000? So that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So I can give you a verbal breakdown, and then I'll also send you a text.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah. So what I will do is I'll buy a phone number based in that whatever location. So I'm guessing London. So 519 or 226. And then we will set that up for an inbound calling agent. We'll give it a name. We'll give the voice that you want. So like, depending on the type of voice, you can totally choose. It could even be your own voice, or it could be like Ellie's voice, because we can train the voice. But anyways, let's just say we choose.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to be Ellie's voice.
Okay, perfect. So we'll train it on Ellie's voice. We can't do that in the short term because I actually need Ellie's audio, unless we can get that quick.
Yeah, we can get that on Friday.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the entire thing can be built, and then once we get that, we'll just throw her voice in there. So then she'll have it'll be a separate phone number that is not connected to Ellie. It's just the agent's phone number. And then we'll give it.
That's what I want.
Yeah. And then we'll give it the entire description, dude. So like whatever you want that flow to be. And so in an example of what that flow would be is like, how many bedrooms do you want? What's your budget? How many people are you living with? How many people, and once we get all of that context, we will then put this thing in like a JSON format. So like you get a response from the agent once the phone call finishes, and it's basically a summary of everything that happened. And then we grab the summary from another AI model, which is just ChatGPT. And what ChatGPT does, we're using their API, so it's like our version of ChatGPT. But what that does is it'll then break down the entire summary of the call, grab the relevant information, and then put the relevant information into either a Zoom meeting that you want or a confirmation for an in-person house tour or whatever that key performance indicator that you want to see. So I'm assuming that it's booking the showings.
Yeah. What about for the follow-up? Because the fortune's in the follow-up, so that's one of the weak parts always is the follow-up. Like, I would like, after they see the place, I'd like an automatic kind of follow-up with the same sort of list of questions. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Find out so we know, yeah, we like the place, it's great, but it's too much.
Yeah.
And if it is too much, well, what would you be willing to pay? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Could be one thing, or if it's, it was really messy, we could say, hey, well, we're going to be painting and cleaning the place and replacing the floors or whatever, right?
Yes. So I guess to make that, for this to kind of hit home even better, is that like each one of these are different flows. And so within bland.ai, which is like the phone call thing, we can just select which flow that we want for each use case. And then that's usually where you need a little bit of manual work. And when I say a little, I mean like literally clicking a button. So like if the appointment happened, right? I think it's better if the human actually clicks the button that then sends the AI to call the user, just because then you can know exactly when the time that you should call them at, right? Versus like a systematic call, right? But the agent will still do the call, if that makes sense. But the manual work is just it's a timing thing to do the outbound.
Or we could just set the time, like
or
7 o'clock at night, right?
Sure, yeah. If especially once things are optimized, then those are just little things that we don't even have to worry about.
Exactly. So all I really, and that's why I want to tie in, is we do video walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to tie that all in so I don't really need a rental agent or...
Okay, so this is where it gets even better because there's another AI software that's actually free that people don't actually know exists. And whenever I show this to a real estate client, they lose their mind. And it's called Luma Labs Fly-Throughs because previously, right, if you think about real estate, they had to hire a videographer to actually do a very nice 3D home tour. And that would have costed a lot of money, it would have taken a lot of time. But now with this Luma Labs fly-through, you literally just film with your iPhone and it turns your iPhone walkthrough into a 3D home tour. And so like today, for example, when I meet this agent, this Ellie girl, I'm going to tell her to do that with all of the properties because they don't have any 3D home tours. And so now like the lead can be given all of these 3D home tours before they even view the property. And that's very, very powerful because then they're going to understand which property they want before they even visit. So yeah, man.
Or, I need somebody more to manage the problems and actually talk to the people at the houses and have some sort of a relationship, right?
Yep. So I'm going to actually send you a text of this AI company. So there's another thing that is actually really beneficial for the real estate world. And that is this thing called Luma Labs Fly-Through. So I'm just going to send that over real quick. And then I'll explain it. Okay. So Luma Labs Fly-Through is like a virtual home tour creator using just an iPhone. And so previously, again, that used to you'd have to have like a DJI drone to do it, or like someone that's really nice at that those like crazy drones to get that type of footage, or you would need a professional videographer. Both of those are painfully expensive. And so, like you were saying, when you wanted to like send them an email after the tour or before the tour, this can also be included, and it can have the entire virtual home tour of every single property that you have. And every single home tour can already be implemented on your website, because all we would need to do is film each of your properties with an iPhone, and then it'll create the 3D home tours. So then you'll just have a really quick portfolio of the 3D virtual tour that the customer can actually use.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, I want to definitely automate the process, because for my job, my whole job is dealing with all this bullshit over and over, and I'm sick of it, and so is Monica. And
yeah.
Luckily enough, Ellie's not sick of it yet. She's excited because she's used to working at a golf course. She's worked at a bunch of restaurants, and so this is she's very excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, she should be. I mean, it seems like a great opportunity for her.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd rather her, doing the leases, and I don't know if the leases. And I want to have another form so they can fill out, if they want to rent it, they go on there and they fill out the information, and then it puts it into the lease somehow. You know what I mean?
1,000%. Like, are you talking like...
So guys, I'm halfway through this video tutorial, but actually I want to let you know, if you're starting the video tutorial right now, put it at 2 times speed, okay? You're going to learn just twice as fast, and yeah, no need to waste your time.
A form calculator type thing?
No, I'm talking, they fill out a form with all their names and it populates into a lease.
I'm not following.
Well, like in a lease, you have to type in all their names, right?
Okay. Oh, like almost like a contract?
Yeah, a contract, yeah. So if they want to rent it, then they have to go online, put in their information, like they fill out the paperwork, not us.
Oh, yeah, that would be huge for the customer because then we could be like, it's done for you.
What's that?
Like you're saying, like if we get their names and stuff, then we can
We don't need their names. If they want to rent it, they fill it out and it populates a lease, a rental application, guarantor form. They fill all that stuff out.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so are you looking? So would you want to like consolidate that for them? Like just have it all done for you. Like once we get the names, then we can kind of whip up all of those.
We don't need to get them. We tell them to go to this,
the form,
a website or a form or whatever. We email them the form. It'd be better if they could just go and grab it off our website.
That's what I'm saying.
Go to the website, just answer the questions, put in the address of the property, put in the rent, let them put in the rent.
Yep.
So if we're asking, let's say, we're asking $1,200 and they only want to pay $1,100, or they can put in $1,100, and if they want to pay $1,300 because we have 4 groups that want the house, then they can put in $1,300. That populates the whole lease because they're going to put the name, they're going to put the address, and the rest of the information is standard. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Totally got you now.
And then we want them to sign it. So it'd be, we use DocuSign.
So what he's talking about here is a little bit higher level, but just because I'm not a real estate agent, so I don't know the nuance of the industry. But basically, I think he's asking that, if we can streamline the process of getting these people to sign the lease by actually creating the entire lease for them immediately, it'll help close sales. And so I don't think he knows yet that that's a possibility with AI. Like if we get all of the leads and we get interest, we can then literally create a PDF invoice and it'll have the entire contract. And that can be emailed out immediately. And then we can have some push notifications that say, hey, there's another group of people that are interested in this rental property. So if you don't pick it up by the end of today, we're going to give it to the other person, even if there's no other person, right? So these are other things that I still haven't even spoken to him about yet.
Monica has to go in there and do all this work. It'd be easier if this lease had it built in and they could just sign on the spot. Do you know what I mean? Or now it goes to DocuSign. So when we get we get an email in our email that, hey, our notification that this is all done. These people have applied. All the paperwork's in. Right? It's all in. Right?
Yeah.
Because the other problem is collecting all the paperwork.
Yeah.
And then collecting all the money. Like it can take a week or 2 weeks, and that's the worst of the worst.
So you see, he's just telling me the pain points now. Like we've reached a point in the conversation where he's basically trusting me and he's telling me everything that's wrong. And so now collecting payments, sending people the lease agreements are all pain points. And, now this is why I think it has 100% clicked for you guys that I need to just show him one thing that's real. Because we are just talking, right? This is all hypothetical. And there's a lot of people in the AI world that are full of shit. And so I then pivoted from, okay, instead of selling him $20,000 up front, let me just sell him on this $2,000 thing. Let me then show him the $2,000 thing, which I did today. And now I'm I'm probably going to make more than $20,000 now because I need to teach their employees as well. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
I get these guys to get all this stuff in, right, Monica?
And so, Simsy, what I think is cool is that I think I need to show you that I'm not just full of shit, right? But what we're talking about is I think there's multiple ways that your business can expand with AI, just from what you're saying. And I think the beginning should be the inbound and outbound. Because then you'll see it. And then, because what you're talking about, the form, for example, that's once again, I can build that and it can be on your website, or we can just build an entirely new website that's even better, for example, but that's just another step in the process, right? So I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to just provide value and then move on to the next step.
Yeah, well, you can take a look at the other one. I'll send you the address. I'll send you the address and then you can take a look at that one. My sister is very busy with, she has 2 teenagers.
Okay.
And, she's doing this AI company. And, anyway, I asked her to give me a hand, but I think she just got overwhelmed and too busy. You know what I mean? She's got a lot on her plate.
Yeah. Oh, dude, overwhelm is no joke. It's been the past 2 months, brother, have been absolutely just sitting at my desk doing nothing else. It's been It's been ridiculous. And I can't even imagine that she's been doing this 20 years.
2 kids
and kids. Yeah. But even for you guys, right? Like there's, like you guys were saying, like there's processes. So and again, another thing that just popped into my mind that you brought up is like, I can imagine that sometimes getting the invoices to be paid out is a pain in the ass. I can imagine.
invoices for what?
Just like rental payments, like if someone's late or if someone
rental
forgot.
Payments, yeah. That's another thing. There's special software that people get for that usually, but
True, yeah. But even just like
So he's talking that there's like external special software that you can do for that, right? Like QuickBooks, for example. He doesn't know though that we can use QuickBooks to send that automation, right? So he's correct that we do need to use QuickBooks, but he doesn't yet know that we can use QuickBooks in an automation flow on make.com.
push notification that's like, oh, hey, this person hasn't paid, and then the automation just fires off and says, hey, you gotta pay. Hey, you gotta pay. Just so
that'd be great. Yeah, we wanna. There's a lot of stuff that can be automated for sure. And now that we've got Ellie that can do the personal showing, I'd like her to focus more on building relationships, not replying. She's saying the same thing in every email.
Yeah, exactly. And if she's already saying the same thing in every email, might as well automate it.
Yeah, exactly. And I already told her that that's what we wanted to do. But anyway, I want to keep her busy full time, right? To take care of my properties and take care of the students because I don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's the bookkeeping part where when the invoices come in, they get inputted in QuickBooks.
Yep.
So that's another, and I'd rather her do that.
Yes.
For example.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And be,
spot on.
Do more important things.
It's high leverage.
And then just deal with the tenants and that kind of stuff. Not wasting your time showing people houses that aren't qualified.
Yes.
That's why when I was talking in the beginning about the profile, is I know if they're East Indian and they're looking at the house, some of them have a 2-bedroom for like $1,100, right? That's what it says. It's for each room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they think they're going to rent the 2-bedroom for $1,100 a month for both bedrooms, and there's supposed to be 4 people in there.
And then that wastes your guys' time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I need to know the profile, right?
Yes. Yeah. And again, so another cool thing with the inbound. So this is for my inbound agent. What the agent asks on the phone is if their business is making over $5,000 a month in profit, and if they're not, then the agent downsells them to the community. If they are making over 5K, then the agent upsells them to book a call with me to see if they should get one-on-one consulting. And so
I'm already showing him that this thing exists. I'm using it in real time. And I'm using it to actually show you guys the tutorial, right? But I'm still saying that like, hey, even though it's a tutorial that I showed my YouTube audience, it's still something that if I wanted to sell high ticket, I would use this automation for. Now, currently I'm not selling high ticket. Like if you guys want to like build softwares, for example, all I say right now is to just join the No Code Academy. But in the future, let's say I sell, a $5,000 price point for a year for me to hands-on help you explode a software company, right? That is an upsell that I would have my agent handle. And the agent will actually qualify the lead. And that's what I'm explaining to him here because he was talking about these East Indian people, for example, that wanted to rent these places at a really cheap price and it wasted his time and it pissed him off. And so if the agent can actually tell them, hey, motherfucker, like you can't afford this place, don't waste our time, it'll help, the owner and the employees streamline their process instead of wasting their time talking to people that would never actually purchase the rental unit.
So there's also like logic built in the agent that can actually qualify the lead as well. And it can be very blunt with how it like talks to the person in this regard. Because like, people are going to want to have things their way, but this agent's not a human, right? So it's just going to be like, no, it's costing this much. And that's it, like just straight answers.
So, like when do you want to meet? Do you want to meet tomorrow or?
Yes, good question actually. Okay, so I have a meeting tomorrow. I just have one meeting tomorrow, so I'm basically free. I'm like the other stuff is like I can work around. So like I have to make YouTube videos. I have to like be in the community.
Your meeting?
He gets back into London, I think tonight, so I have to double check with him. But again, I can work around that meeting as well.
You can what? Sorry.
I can work around that meeting as well. So.
Okay. Well, trying to think what's going on tomorrow. I don't think I have anything going on, but I mean, earlier in the day would be better for me.
Okay.
Yeah, earlier in the day, because if we're going to do this, we got to work on it right away, right?
Oh.
We don't want to meet at the end of the day when we'll already be starting on it, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking, because I really, Ellie's coming back Thursday, like afternoon sometime, early evening from Belleville. So I've got her all lined up to work.
So honestly, I think we can wrap it up here because the rest of the conversation pivots into venture capital. And he was basically saying like, hey, if you can show me these good results, then I will, raise, or I will invest into your company. And so, basically this call hit like 10 birds with one stone. Right. So I got connected to a potential investor. His sister also runs a very successful AI company herself, and his own business needs help. And so I was like, okay, I might as well help his AI automation. I was like, okay, I might as well help his real estate business, because even though I'm not running an AI automation agency currently, it's going to get me in the door to actually raise capital. So it's not like I'm not getting paid for this either. Like you guys saw, even just this first automation is going to make me a couple thousand. And since we are in the future, and this is, a couple days ago, I already showed him the first automation and he loved it. And so now all of these other automations are going to be released as he pays me. And so the next thing is finding out that long-term pricing structure, whether it's a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, whatever the case may be. And within that plan, my goal, right, is to train the employee called Ellie to become basically me, so that I don't have to be there anymore. And so during that process, it's really difficult to teach someone AI automations from scratch, especially someone that's never seen it before. And so that's where my main pricing strategy will actually come into play, because this lady, from what I'm hearing, is going to be working for this company for many, many years to come. I'm not, right? I have to build my own stuff, and he knows that. And so I'm going to then, make another video talking about, what the actual long-term deal is now that I've shown him the automations. But before that, I'm also going to sell him on multiple other automation installations. So there's two sides of things, right? And I talk about this in the No Code Academy because there's a difference between an installation fee and then the monthly retainer fee, and potentially even taking a percentage of commission, right? So in this business model in real estate, I don't want to touch the commission, but I do want to get my hands on the monthly retainer, because they're going to need it. And I don't mind making that monthly recurring revenue. And so talking about the numbers, talking about the numbers, right? The $2,000 was for the inbound agent. And so what else can come? We can do a LinkedIn email scraper. We can do an auto upload automation. We can do the invoice automation. We can do the lease agreement contract. We can do the marketing auto uploads. And so these are all potentially $2,000, right? But I know this guy personally, so I'm not going to charge him that for installation fees, but clearly you can see the value. So I hope this video helped, guys, and catch you on the next one.